Now, the question is, why was God doing all of these things? What was the intent in the heart of God? What was God trying to establish? Because the thing that took me down that rabbit hole last week was that I was trying to show you what is Abraham's blessing. You remember? That's what took me there. What is the blessing of Abraham? And why is it that God had to bless Abraham? Why? Why the blessing? You see, brethren, I was looking at the genealogies of the Bible for 2 days now. I've just been trying to run into my spirit. And it's very interesting that you see Cain, who departs from the presence of God, goes and builds cities, goes and gets married, and even has a beautiful lineage. And I told you that the representation of that thing was about a civilization that could exist outside of what? The government of God. And that civilization still exists today. There are people who want to claim that they belong to God, but they do not want to be under God's government. That is the system of Cain. That is the system that we call Babylon. A godless system. A system where Christ, God, and the Holy Spirit are not king. Where self is exalted above the throne of God. Greed, gold, and self have been exalted above God. So you become your own God. This is Babylon. He had sons. The sons prospered. But in the midst of this chaos, we read in Genesis chapter 4 that Abraham knows his wife Adam knows his wife Eve, and they give birth to a son called Seth. And out of Seth, they give birth to a son called Seth. And out of Seth, through the long line comes Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And out of Shem comes Terah. And out of Terah, Abraham. And then God looks at Abraham and says, I want to use you. To do what? The revelation of what God was trying to do is in the blessings he was speaking over Abraham. What God wanted to establish with Abraham is a nation. Somebody say a nation. So you will notice in Genesis chapter 12, the emphasis is 1, I will make your name great. 2, what is the next thing? I will make you a great nation. I will make you a great nation. I will bless you and I will make your name great. And you shall be a blessing. You, who is you? Abraham. So the emphasis is making him a great nation. Why did God want to bring a nation out of Abraham? Because the nations around had deviated from God. The influence of Cain and his Babylonian system had begun to spread. So God wanted to build a nation, and from that nation establish his plan and his purposes. The emphasis of Abraham's blessing is not material prosperity. It's a nation.